Hey guys, I hope everything is going well with you all today. I want to take some time, and what I want to do is skip ahead a little bit further ahead than I normally would um, on a Lenten passage, on a passage related to Lent. Um, what was very interesting is I felt for several weeks like God has wanted me to share on this passage, and as fate or humor would have it, as I get ready to share on this passage, I think as we unravel this passage real quick, you'll see why there was a certain amount of humor. I ended up getting quite sick, probably from the flu, and was out of commission for about a week and a half or so. And I will not bore you the details of, but I'm back now. I'm finally back to some semblance of normal, and I want us to look at in Matthew 26, beginning around verse 31, and I'm going to look at it in the Message version today, just because I feel it kind of highlights and corrects actually some of the common misunderstandings about this passage. And you'll see that as we go along. Then Jesus told them, I'm starting at verse 31, before the night's over, you're going to fall to pieces because of what happens to me. This is a scripture that says, I'll strike the shepherd, helter-skelter, the sheep will be scattered. But after I am raised up, I, your shepherd, will go ahead of you, leading the way to Galilee. Then Peter, who had always such a high image of himself, kind of really hiding his actual insecurity probably, he says in verse 33, Peter broke in, even if everyone else falls to pieces on account of you, I won't. Wouldn't we love to all believe that's us? But we need to understand the specialness of the situation that all of these disciples are getting ready to face. And it's going to be, the uniqueness of the situation is really going to come into play here in just a minute. Don't be so sure, Jesus said. This very night before the rooster crows up the dawn, you will deny me 3 times. Peter protested, even if I had to die with you, I would never deny you. All the others said the same thing. Interesting. Then in 36, then Jesus went up with them out in the garden called Gethsemane, and this is the main focus of our passage right here, and told his disciples, stay here while I go over there and pray. Taking along Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, that is James and John, he plunged into an agonizing sorrow. Then he said, the sorrow is crushing my life out. Stay here and keep vigil with me. Going a little ahead, he fell on his face, praying, my Father, if there is any way, get me out of this. But please, not what I want. What do you want? When he came back to his disciples, he found them asleep. He said to Peter, can't you stick it out with me a single hour? Stay alert. Be in prayer so that you do not wander into temptation without even knowing you're in danger. There is a part of you that is eager. Ready for anything in God, but there's another part that's as lazy as an old dog sleeping by the fire. Good paraphrase there. He then left them a second time. Again he prayed, "My Father, if there is no other way than drinking this cup to the dregs, I'm ready. Do it your way." When he came back, he again found them sound asleep. They simply couldn't keep their eyes open. This time he let them sleep on and went back a third time to pray, going over the same ground one last time. When he came back the next time, he said, "Are you going to sleep on and make a night of it? My time is up. The Son of Man is about to be handed over to the hands of sinners. Get up. Let's get going. My betrayer is here." Now, I'll stop right there. But after that, Peter denies Jesus. Now, I want to really hit something here, because if you've ever read anything about this passage has often been used, incorrectly I might add, as a motivation for prayer. There's been probably the most popular one was one that was titled, "Could You Not Tarry 1 Hour?" Now, all of these were very well intentioned. I don't question the intention of any of these at all. But here's what most people miss. Peter and the disciples could not and would not be given the strength by God the Father to stand with Jesus in his hour of need, because this was a need that only he could fulfill for us. Think about that again. God the Father was not going to answer Jesus' request out of his humanity here. But it was because, and I just get amazed when I think about this and really think it through, it's because only he could take the full price for us. Not even his closest friends, i.e. his disciples, could take on the burden of our sin. Otherwise, it would not have been a sufficient sacrifice. Do you get it? He couldn't even afford to use his disciples as a crutch, because he needed to feel the full reality and experience the full reality of our sin. So, unfortunately, because we've used this passage as a teaching on prayer, it's not really a teaching on prayer. Because here's the deal. When you begin to realize how much Jesus really loves you, and how much he's poured into your life, and how much he cares about you, guess what? You're not going to have any trouble praying. When you really get a hold of this passage, because it's not going to be something that you do out of a sense of obligation, but that what you do out of a sense of gratitude, because Jesus did what only he could do for you and what you could not do for yourself. And the fact of the matter is, if the disciples had been able to help Jesus in that hour of need, it would have been Jesus plus something else. But it was Jesus and only Jesus who can really give us the need and fulfill the needs of our life. Thank you for sharing this with me. And I'm looking for a couple people that might be willing to help me update my pages. It would start out as a free thing. As I grew a little bit, I'm certainly willing to share anything I earn. So if you're interested, or you know somebody that might be interested, please let me know. And I would love to hear any of your comments about this video. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.